press the button. Okay. I think we're live. We might be live. We're kind of live. We may be sort of live. Travis, have you ever been sort of live before? Because I have. So. And I think that's...
Sorry, man. I'm multitasking here this evening. I was checking some laundry. What was your question now?
You were checking ammo prices. Don't lie.
Yeah, no. I actually ran off to go grab a T-shirt that's been in the dryer for like an hour. So I got ammo now. I'm just looking at 9mm prices.
Yeah. Speaking of 9mm, yeah, for those that haven't done so already, either check out the Discord or check out the my Instagram account, and you'll see that I now have 2 fully armed and operational daggers.
Excuse me.
Fully armed PSA daggers. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. George is jumping at the last minute. Well, not the last minute, but close next to the last minute.
Always makes a dramatic entrance.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
We're doing good, right. George. How are you?
Pretty good, man.
Good. Best can. Best in a can.
Scott 79's out there. So yeah, we got a lot of people. I didn't get to see who else was out there. Did Kingpin say yo yet? I think Kingpin and D-Man 50 were out there, weren't they? Oh, so that's who I saw earlier before I started. So, no. Anyways, yep, it's 9:00. It's about time to start hit or miss. No, Tuesday nights 9:00. I think we've been live for a few minutes, so I think we're on time tonight. I think we're on time.
Cool.
How about that? So, all right. We got a couple topics to talk about, so you guys are gonna have to jump in on some of these. So be aware of that. And if you don't want to jump in, then go take a nap. Just don't do it. Don't do it with the microphone on. Okay, that's all I ask. All right. So the topics we got tonight to talk about are stuff that's going on in the world, and some situations with Russians. It involves Russians. Belarus. It involves Ukrainians. It involves NATO. It involves an old man asleep at the wheel again. Because apparently Biden's being called out for not doing enough. Being asleep at the wheel, but hey, that's what he does.
Biden.
He's not competent.
So, anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that tonight, and then we got another topic to talk about, which is primarily I want that to be the main focus, but that's how it is. All right, so through the room, and it's all right. It's still working. All right, but yeah, it's just a fun poll. I could have gone East versus West, but that would have had worse connotations. So,
isn't that what that really is, though? When you say AR versus AK, it really is East versus the West.
It is in a sense, but it's also which gun do you like more? So it's
true.
Basically what I like. Anyways, George, why don't you go and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Hello in YouTube land. My name is George Cortez. I'm also known as South Texas AR Guy on Instagram and hopefully soon on YouTube one of these days. So you can check me out on Instagram. So I post funny stuff there,
Okay.
Thanks for the invite. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. All right. Glad you can make it.
Thank you.
And then we've got everyone's favorite Polish partisan. We got Warsaw Patriot. What's going on, Warsaw?
Warsaw Patriot.
Nazywam się Warszawa Patriot.
Oh my
Jestem
god.
dumnym Amerykaninem, który kocha wolność.
Hello, my name is Warsaw Patriot, and I'm an American who loves freedom.
There is not.
I have to yell in Russian. Niet.
That makes you a commie then.
No, it doesn't make me a commie. I just think it's funny. But anyways, welcome to the panel, Warsaw. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right, good.
Could be
And
better.
last but not least, the man who needs no introduction, but we're giving him an introduction anyways, is Travis P11.
That's right. I'm Travis P11. You might know me as the Gabacho Cuñado of South Texas AR guy. But anyway, no, man, good to be here. Happy to be here. I look forward to the show every day like I have for the last, 4 or 5 years. And it's going to be a good show tonight, man. Lots of good discussion.
Well,
Yep.
you are now the official, unofficial co-host, so
Hey, there we go. All right.
No.
I don't know, man. Smeggy might be
What happened to your original co-host?
Well, the
Sean Connery's
problem is Smeggy moved to Anti-Gun Central, so he couldn't bring all of his toys with him when he moved.
Oh man.
Oh,
California hate.
we were down the desert
Yeah.
somewhere with all those Atari cartridges.
I know, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Roland Tripp is out there saying "Evening before I crash." Well,
No crashes.
no crashing, no crashing. That's what Flying Rich does.
Exactly.
No, that would he's
Does he fly
that's the joke.
turkeys?
Flying Rich crashes because he's crashed his plane like 2 or 3 times.
You sure he's not flying a turkey?
No, it might be a turkey piloting though. Turkey piloting, and and in before we start talking about everything is Tony.
I was kind of hoping you'd get all the boring stuff out of the way before I got here.
Oh, geez.
If you're worried about
You know-
boring stuff, you may just want to go and sit out in the chat and just
I was trying to go for an epically emotional intro, but
just
Yeah, Tony
lay
just
down
stole
on
my
the
fire
couch,
there.
Tony, because
I,
this might be a snoozer for you tonight.
I was trying to click on the poll, and I accidentally clicked on report poll. So I was like, okay.
Oh, thanks, Tony. Thanks.
that's awesome.
When I saw it was 41% AK, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm reporting this poll. That's it.
Yeah, right. I want to see this poll's manager. Who's running this poll? CNBC,
Right.
CNN,
MSNBC,
MSNBC. There you go.
MSNBC,
MSNBP,
Bloomberg.
probably.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's
so-
kind of silly why it is east and west. That's what I heard right before I came in.
No. It's the 700 Club. That's the one that's reporting it.
we're reporting it to the 700 Club.
Oh my God.
Actually, it's.
I'm in that club.
Let me get this straight. If it's also east and west, does it also count to west mostly because of China?
No, that's east. That's the Far East.
That's far east. Yeah.
Even though the joke is the further east you go, eventually you'll wrap around, but that's besides the point.
That's true.
It's just the curvature of the earth.
It's the
The point I was making was the
Greenwich
Chinese
Mean
vacation.
Time.
Greenwich Mean Time would mean we would be in England. So
No, I mean, that's well, I guess it's not the dividing line. between
cheerio,
east and west.
chap. So there we go. Yeah, where's Richard when you need him to? When you need someone overly English.
Isn't Greenwich Mean Time in like Norway or something?
Well,
No, GMT is basically
Doesn't it split London, England?
England. Most of England is GMT.
Yeah.
And then there's parts of England and the UK that are plus and minus.
The time
Not
each
minus,
day
but mostly
crosses
plus.
The prime meridian at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich.
Yeah.
Greenwich.
Greenwich, I think they
GMT. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. We got a $2 super chat from Daniel saying, "What's this mean mustache business I've heard about, Night Strike? I have no idea.
You should do a mustache, Night Strike. You should do like a bandito mustache that goes across the top.
I've already got a mustache, but it's in a beard.
Yeah, so Take off the beard for just because your mustache, your beard will grow back in like 48 hours.
No, it'll take.
Bro, you got T levels that are just
Not
like
without some fertilizer.
Actually,
It'll
high
take
T
about
levels,
half a month for it to come
super
back.
high T levels. You're just furry like a gorilla.
Yeah.
You know, it's the worst thing you could do if you have a beard or mustache, Night Strike. Is if you got a wife or a girlfriend and you piss her off, and next thing you know, she's probably going to get a lighter, and then next thing you know, burn your beard while you're sleeping.
Oh my
You see,
god,
Warsaw, you always think the worst in people, and I
That's an awful
like
thought.
attempted murder. Like if she lights you on fire, she just goes full Michael Jackson on you and like sprays you down and lights it up.
No.
Warsaw, let me ask. You know, we need to have an intervention, Warsaw.
Yeah.
Of the women you've dated, how
dated
many of them have
anybody.
been psycho?
I've seen a few of them on the internet.
Oh, you've just seen a few of them on the internet. You haven't dated any psycho women.
Why do you think I don't date
That
anybody?
Polish woman ruined him.
Yeah, you know those
No,
Polish
that's a
women.
Ruski
ruined them.
woman.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
No, I saw that on a YouTube video where some guy and
And
his wife is doing it. It slapped my ass.
anyways, for reference, this is what I look like. Hi. So, you know, there's the beard and the mustache and everything. So
I'm telling you, man,
if
take
they're
off
making
the-
fun of this, then there's only one reason they're making fun of this, because they're jealous.
Dude,
They
shave
can't
off
grow
your
this.
shave off your chin. You look like Lemmy from Motorhead if you do that. That'd be awesome.
I ain't shaving off my
Get
chin.
the mutton chops going on, dude. That'd be awesome.
Look,
Like I
I've
said,
got a
it'll go
nice,
back to it.
I've
It'll
got
go
a
back to
nice,
it.
decent mustache and a decent beard. And if anybody can't grow this, then they got problems. They got bigger problems, I tell you.
Well, I mean, they could be like female and they just can't physically grow it. I mean,
Well, then
grandma can't
maybe
grow
they
it.
should transition.
You say my grandmother should transition to my grandpa?
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick, man. You need some help.
You know. Anyways, we got another super chat. You know, from Gun Library Garrett saying Night Strike commands with a mustache like that. And he's right. You command with a mustache like this. You don't just go and show it off. And Warsaw, what are you playing with now? Stop.
This is the video I'm talking about. To show you.
John has a long mustache.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a stop.
This is violence.
You're just violent, man. You are violent. Kingpin says, I can't grow a beard on my face, but I can comb my hair. Well, then, Kingpin, you comb and style that hair, man. One day that hair will get you some respect. And Warsaw, if you need a minute, go get it out of your system.
Here. Speaking of
All right,
grandmas,
look at my
this
horse.
is my grandmother right here, guys. She doesn't need to transition to man Night Strike. She can kick your ass, dude. This is my grandma on her birthday 2 years ago. Look at that. Look at that.
You got her an AK.
Hell yeah. Well, that was my AKV, man. She took it out and did a few shots with it out of my aunt's later on that evening. Her birthday is on July 4th. So, we gotta,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, at least you still have a grandmother. Let me just
You
put
got
that
trigger
way.
control right there. Way better than half the people on the internet. So,
At least you still have a grandmother, Travis. That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying.
I thought that was an MP5 when I first saw it. I was like,
no, she'd be pretty cool rocking an MP5
Yeah.
though. So, yeah.
Scott says, "What has Warsaw been smoking? Only the finest, as far as I can tell."
I don't smoke.
He says that.
Mhm.
He
just
probably-
goes- that's
He
right.
probably vapes or something.
No,
free
I'm
bases,
laughing
free
because I
bases,
can
whatever
imagine
that
Night
is.
Strike getting burnt.
Yeah. Making fun of my mustache. I mean, come on, man. Come on, that's a mustache and a beard that commands respect.
Yeah, it looks like
It
Santa
is. It
Claus.
is an epically awesome beard. If you ever see it in person, I mean, it looks like just like a slightly better curated version than what Tony's got. So, yeah.
what?
It's a little scruffier than
Not as
Tony's.
manicured.
Like a live action of Hagar the Horrible.
I will admit I need to go to the barber and get it trimmed. I get
Just
that.
Go get a kid. Just trim it yourself, man.
I just
Yeah.
use one of those guards on the shade.
Hey, there you go. You should take lessons from Tony, man.
I should take a lesson from Tony. That's that.
Yeah.
I've already taken enough lessons from Tony. Okay. If I take any more, I might have to claim him as my uncle or something.
I haven't done anything.
No, but seriously, Night Strike.
Tony,
If somebody
we're
was doing
joking.
it,
Just don't worry
laugh.
about No, we're just playing around. Don't worry about it, Tony. All right. So tonight we're gonna talk about two topics, and I've kind of been delaying it because I wanted to make sure everybody got in here as soon as they could. But it seems like this is all that's attending tonight. So, all right. For those that didn't know, yesterday, Russia invaded two provinces, or I guess they're called regions in the Ukraine instead of provinces or states, but basically 2 regions of Ukraine that they didn't already have. Okay,
Warsaw
because
said they just sent in peacekeepers.
they just sent in people last night into the what is the region called?
Eastern Ukraine.
Donetsk or something. What is it?
Donetsk,
Donetsk, and part of
Luhansk.
Luhansk, and basically that's the southeastern region of the Ukraine that borders with Russia.
Yep.
And they've already got Crimea. The Russia's already taken control of Crimea,
and he also got Belarus.
And well, they've had Belarus, but now they have troops right in Donetsk and Luhansk now, which were held by Russian separatists, but the Russian military was ordered to cross the border and take them. And if you didn't hear Putin's speech yesterday, his speech, the translated version, is pretty scary because it was basically summed up that he does not see the Ukraine as a nation, as a sovereign nation.
Oh, jeez.
He sees the Ukraine as Russian land.
Well, especially the states, those southeastern states, right? That he's mainly talking about the separatist states, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what he's going to do, just slowly, state by state. First it's Crimea, now it's southeast.
Yeah, well, first is Crimea, now it's the southeastern part. But if they go any further, eventually they're gonna march straight in to go to Kiev. So even at that, man, what more do we say? I do know that I don't like that Biden's doing this, but Biden has beefed up NATO forces in surrounding countries in case the Ukrainians do ask for help. But the Ukrainians don't want American troops or even NATO troops on their soil right now, is what one of their foreign ministers have said. Okay, he's like, we appreciate the gesture, but he said we don't want foreign troops in our country right now.
They didn't hesitate to take anti-tank weapons and all that stuff.
So right now they've stated, if you want to support or help us, supplies and weapons are more than appreciated. But at the moment, they don't want any other troops other than Ukrainian troops in the country right now. And while I understand that, but they also the foreign minister also said, when in 1994, when Russia and the United States were calling on people to disarm nuclear weapons and get rid of their nuclear weapons, apparently Ukraine got rid of their nuclear weapons, and the foreign minister said, maybe we should have done something to where we could have kept some of those because hindsight's 2020, and honestly, we really, really would like some of those right now.
You don't want to get into a nuke fight with Russia.
No, you don't want to get in a nuke fight in Russia. But Russia's not going to invade a country that has nuclear weapons.
No, they don't. They wouldn't see it as a deterrent. No, I just wouldn't.
You don't think
No,
Russia would see nuclear
I
weapons?
think they know that Ukraine wouldn't have used them against them because it'd be suicide.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ron 2A Matters is out there saying hello.
Well, if you don't think so, how do you figure that they lost Crimea and now these southeastern states?
They lost Crimea.
If they were all that strong, they would have repelled the invasion in the first place.
You know how that happened?
Yeah.
You know how that happened?
They drove freaking tanks into Crimea.
Wasn't it one of the Ukrainian ministers went and defected? That's how that happened?
No, what happened was actually the Russian FSB and the Spetsnaz actually secretly took out at nighttime and actually deployed and actually did a secret mission and then just basically allowed in the Russian troops and secretly took it over in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you got Russia.
Yep. Yep. We got another super chat from Daniel saying Putin literally said the nuclear deterrent is dead. Yeah, it's the nuclear
Yeah.
deterrent was gone from them from Ukraine because they gave up their nukes in '94. That's why it's gone.
Nah, they wouldn't use them. They wouldn't use them
Uh,
against.
You know,
It would be done.
who's to say they wouldn't? But you know, I hear India and Pakistan always threatening each other with nukes.
Hmm.
Oh, here's the thing. How many enemies does Russia have? All right, you got Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia.
I would say most of Yugoslavia, or you know, the states that were the former states of Yugoslavia.
Bulgaria,
You know, Serbia, Albania,
Estonia, Latvia.
Croatia, not Croatia, but what was it? Let me look at a map. I'm sorry, but I'm not good with my geography. I apologize.
Slovenia.
You know, Russia wants they want the landscape. They want the dirt. They're not going to nuke dirt that they want. Okay, it would be unusable for 1,000 years.
They just want the Soviet Empire again, Tony.
Yeah, that's exactly what they
It's
want.
like,
And they don't want to nuke.
Serbia, Kosovo, Albania, Montenegro, Bosnia and Herzegovina, you know, and parts of Croatia and Slovenia. Okay, most of that was Yugoslavia.
No, it wouldn't surprise me to go after Germany too.
Yeah. So
I don't see that. No.
Those, you know, that area, they're not too Russian friendly.
Russia considers Ukraine Russian.
Yeah.
It's not Russian, no.
They're trying to.
All right, we got another super chat from Daniel saying, "No, Night Strike. He meant everyone He said everyone are too chicken shit to use nuclear weapons." Well, if that's what Putin said, good luck provoking people, because that's a provocation right there.
The problem is they're not like 1 megaton warheads like they used to be. You know,
No.
nuke Japan. You know, you can't just nuke a small city and use it. You know, 10 years later. You know,
No,
it's a serious thing. You start nuking, and it's loss of resources. I mean, it just. If you're wanting a path to the ocean, you know, if you need that transport path, if you want to collect your people and get the resources, you don't go nuking the land. It's just silly.
Here's the thing with the conflict in Ukraine. I kind of see a repeat of the Second World War.
I'm not so sure on the Second World War.
No, but just hear from where I'm coming from. Remember when we gave Czechoslovakia and those other nations like Poland to Germany? We gave in to Hitler.
We didn't give in. We just, you know, the United States was neutral.
Well, we gave those countries, and basically they occupied
No,
them.
we didn't give anything to anyone. We were neutral. We got another super chat from Gun Library Garrett. He's saying, "Yep, Putin said we are too sissy." Yeah. No, I believe he said that, because Putin's one of those assholes that'll say stuff like that, because Putin, Putin doesn't see Biden as like an actual leader, period. Okay. You know, he was, I'm going to say this, and people can say I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm wrong. But I think Trump was more headstrong than
Obama,
than Obama or Biden. And, you know, I think maybe Trump being so headstrong as he was may have scared Putin off a little.
Hell, he strengthened our military.
So, and that was just my opinion. Okay, you guys can argue about that all day long if you want. I won't say you're wrong. I won't say you're right. It's just my opinion.
I would say 100% fact.
I mean, at this point, from what I've heard, from what I've heard, but my former governor, Nikki Haley, has called out Joe Biden for being too soft on this whole matter. But I mean, what do you expect from a guy who eats nothing but what is it?
Chocolate ice cream,
applesauce,
or chocolate ice cream,
applesauce or chocolate ice cream.
So how do you pronounce this river that chops off that part of? How much you want to bet Putin's got his eye on going Dnieper? What is that? How do you pronounce that in Russian? Dnieper.
What you talking about the Donetsk People's Republic?
There's a river that cuts Ukraine almost in half, and that's the how much you want to bet that Putin's going for that whole eastern side.
The Dnieper River.
That'll connect him to Crimea, just
Yeah.
straight shot from the north
right.
there.
Oh, yeah, we got some more comments out there, so let me read some of these comments and we'll get back to this. But if you guys have anything you want to get out before I start reading the comments, go for it. Okay. All right. Daniel's saying, does anybody see Sleepy Joe as a leader? I don't. I really don't. But apparently they say he is. So, we have to agree to disagree.
All those that are sleeping with him.
Only those that are sleeping with him, and that's only one person. Scott79 says Ukraine should literally just start sending transport planes for salt and salt the earth in the breakaway region. Well, that's one way to do it. Daniel says we might be lucky that Trump isn't in office, though. He'd try to curb stomp Pooty Poo and get us in World War III. But I think he'd also probably win.
I don't think World War III is a good idea.
It's not a good idea, but looking at it right now, we may be there one way or the other. Jose Morga says during World War II, at towards the end, if they wouldn't have let Patton fight the Russians, we would. If they would have let Patton fight the Russians, we would have never had this issue here. Right here. Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
We needed the Russians to take their side of to come at them from Germany from that side.
We got another super chat from Gun Library Garrett saying, can't argue with the mustache like that. Hey, Gun Library Garrett, you can argue and give me your opinion all you want. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I just said it was my opinion. Okay. I mean, I'm just, and that's anybody that says anything on my panel for reference, it's their First Amendment right to say whatever their views and opinions. Okay. I'm not going to, censor them for saying things, except maybe Warsaw, because he never says it himself. He always lets a computer talk for him. So I have no idea whether his loyalties lie with the United States or the computer overlords. I don't know. He might secretly be a Terminator. We don't know. But again, everyone has the right here on Hit or Miss and on any of my shows. So
I know one way to prove if he's human or Terminator. Get him on camera and tell him to smile.
So,
thanks.
But and anybody out in the chat has the right to say whatever the hell they want to. That's the First Amendment. Period. So I'm just throwing that out there in case anybody doesn't understand. Yes, DJ Play Nice. The views and opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily those of our show or our host. Exactly, that's the point. But everybody.
So what do we know? Like what actual Russian military presence is now inside the Ukraine? Have they actually moved, or are they just giving? Is it Russian?
They're right now. I've got a map of where they're at. They're in Donetsk and they're part of Luhansk.
They're progressing in the Donetsk region, which is Donetsk and Luhansk region.
Yeah.
So they're actually in the Ukraine now. They've actually gone, not just backing rebels.
They crossed the border into those Ukraine.
It was a soft invasion.
It's a separatist area.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, they've invaded now officially, so that is declaration of war, right?
With Russia.
All right. Scott
they said they were peacekeepers.
Putin was afraid that Trump would be crazy enough to actually use nukes, and honestly, he might have been. Jose Morgan says because Patton knew he had that the Russians were not to be trusted, and they were right. I won't argue that. He said he would have curb stomped them and made him. He dropped the mother of all bombs in. Yeah, well, Daniel says we know the shit has hit the fan when Night Strike breaks out his mean mustache. Well, it's been on the air already tonight. It's not going back on air. You've seen it once tonight. getting a little itchy. So
You can watch it. You can see it by playing the video at the end of the show.
You can help Night Strider feed his mustache by sponsoring him over on Patreon.
Yeah.
That's right. Make sure that mustache stays nice and supple and well groomed.
Yeah. Jose Morgan says, I'm going back to the Obama administration. They knew about Ukraine being attacked. Joe Biden had a hand in it. Yes, he did. He did. You know, all that money going to the hunter, right? Yeah.
George Soros.
DJ Play Nice, did you say that? We could say whatever you want. Whatever you want, DJ Play Nice. Not me. Whatever you'd like to say in the text chat because your First Amendment protected. Yes. Whatever you want. But again, remember, your words do have consequences. So if you say too many of the wrong things,
prosecution claim against it. Ultimately, I'm just happy that Kyle is free.
Okay, who's watching stuff about Kyle?
That the trial.
Jister.
What?
Jister is on here.
Who was that? Who knows? All right. Anyways, just remember that if all you're gonna do is curse as far as your First Amendment rights, then we may have to have a mod give you a talking to, because we're trying to keep it PG-13. All right.
No, I was saying that was Jister that was trying to hop in.
Okay. So
I
I
didn't
like he
cuss.
was trolling to me.
anyways, what kind of poll question is that? This is America, damn it. Yeah. AR-15 or AK-47. East versus West, Russian versus American, good versus evil. Only you choose. One or the other.
That statement there is false on the AK,
It's
by
so
the way. Night Strike.
propaganda. So much
Just-
like
just-
propaganda.
Just shut it.
There's some good with the AK, my friend.
No.
Yes, there is.
The
actually.
AK is an evil rifle. It is
No,
an
it's
evil
not.
rifle.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
It is. Yes.
It's the
It's
user.
Russian. It's
It's
evil.
the user.
Scott79 says you'd think that Joe Biden would want to defend Ukraine significantly because of that financial interests of his son. You'd think that. All right. So, guys, any more comments on the whole Ukraine situation?
I like to add to this, Tony. As far as the what was it, that river you were mentioning? There's actually geologically historical reference that actually ties to why it's divided like that. During the Second World War, believe it or not, Ukraine was actually divided, and it's not the first time. During the Second World War, it was actually divided. So a lot of Ukrainians were on the west were actually were under oppression by the Soviet government. When the Germans came in, they actually thought they were being liberated by them. But then the ones in the east were actually still supporting the Soviet government. What happened was there was a guy by the name of Stefan Bandera. He was actually a guy in the eastern Ukraine and actually formed the UPA, which is the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, and actually was actually a sympathizer to the German Nazis. But what happened after that, there were two factions of the UPA. One actually stayed with the Ukrainian, Nazi way, and the other was actually in eastern Ukraine. Actually, didn't want to support that, and they actually resisted both the Soviet Union and the Germans.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to come out here and say this: the Germans are not They were not liberators. They were
No.
not helpful.
Nope.
The
they
Germans
weren't.
were just as bad, if not worse, than the Soviets were.
I'm
And
just
then-
saying, if I'm a Russian, war planner, that would be a great place to set up the front, because
Mhm.
you look at their highway system, they got a straight shot down to the Black Sea from there.
Yeah, but you look up the UPA, Ukrainian Insurgent Army. It kind of explains how
Yeah.
Ukraine is actually divided.
Yeah, Jose Morgan says not in Russia. Russia takes over the whole country, then all the paperwork gets destroyed, and Biden doesn't have to do anything about it. Yeah, no, I believe that.
I'm just talking about phase one. They stop at the river, and phase two, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm
Vanessa
surprised
Kitty says Russia has no right to invade Ukraine. No, it does not.
I'm
it does
surprised
not.
Bulgaria hasn't stepped in, or Georgia.
Yeah, the problem is Bulgaria doesn't have much of a military.
Well, but Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia doesn't have much of a military either. They're part of Russia, aren't they?
No, they're separated. They're independent now.
Are they independent now?
Well, they
I know-
got
I
Fort
know-
Benning.
I
They
know
don't wanna be
Russia
impa-
retook
They don't want to be
Chechnya.
affiliated with him.
Oh, you mean the country? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the country Georgia. Not,
I was going to say Fort Benning, Georgia.
we've seen Georgia on the map.
No, Georgia
purple.
as in Stalin's homeland.
Oh yes, Georgia is Stalin's homeland. Yes.
West Georgia is my favorite state.
You know, I was more of a fan of South Central myself. You know,
Guys, we're talking about Europe, not the United States.
I know.
I know we're joking
We're
around.
joking. Come on.
East Virginia is my second favorite state.
You know,
East Virginia.
I was always more of a fan of East Dakota.
Isn't that just Minnesota? I know that.
No, you know, you got your North Dakota, your South Dakota,
That
your
was
East
before the
Dakota,
Civil War.
and your West Dakota. You know, it was before the Civil War.
Yep.
Before they decided we just need a North and a South.
Absolutely.
No, obviously that's jokingly, but yeah, I mean Georgia, the country of Georgia, yeah, basically at the time of the Soviet Union, all the people who were Georgian, Armenian, or even if you were from Azerbaijan, you were basically part of the Soviet Union at that point. Also, most of the stands, minus Afghanistan and Pakistan, all the other stands were part of the Soviet Union at that point too.
Well, what's that other one? Kazakhstan.
You got Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan.
Whoa.
Then there's Afghanistan and Pakistan, but those two weren't part of the Soviet Union.
Uzbek.
Yeah, I just said all of them. There's like
Uzbek.
5 stands that were part of the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Hello, my name is Borat.
Yeah, wasn't he from Kazakhstan?
Yeah,
Pakistan.
Yeah. Yeah. M. Gabriel says, weren't most of the famine victims in the USSR in Ukraine? Well, I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them were all over. I mean, if you looked at the years leading up to the fall of the Soviet Union, like in the 80s, people were standing in line for like loaves of bread in Moscow.
You think that
no New York outcast, there's no night strikeistan. But I do know that New York outcast lives in New Yorkistan.
I was gonna say not yet, but it's coming, man.
He lives in New Yorkistan. We know this. We've seen how they do things there. Yeah. So
that place is evil.
yeah. Anyways. So people are messaging me on there we go. Scott, is this real or is this just is this what you call it made up? Is that a joke or is that real? Because if that's real, I would totally post that. That doesn't look real. But apparently it's an image saying Biden administration begins dropping #United for Ukraine leaflets in an effort to halt Russian advances.
M. Gabriel's question, I think he's referring to the Holodomor massacre of the Second World War.
No. He's saying, speaking of Georgia, what has Iraq veteran idiot Eric done with Chad? Chad has disappeared. Well, I don't know what he's done with Not Barry. And we're just going to leave that at that.
I like Chad. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't he still on gun gripes with him?
I prefer Barry. And I miss Barry. And I know that everybody
Barry was always too serious. Chad was fun.
Barry was in Vietnam.
What's that got to do with anything?
That means
pretty heavy shit.
It doesn't mean he's not. It doesn't.
It means he understood war and weapons. On a very personal level.
Chad's IQ was probably like 50 points higher. I mean, he knew pretty much everything about every gun I ever heard him talk about.
Yeah,
Chad. I'm not a fan of Chad. I am not a fan of Chad. If you're a fan of Chad, Tony, I
met him several times, and he's a nice guy. You know?
Well, I mean, he can be a nice guy. I'm just not going to agree with everything he says, though.
You don't have to agree with everything anybody says. Just have to be friends with them. Dang.
So,
what do you shoot people you don't agree with?
No, I don't. No, I only shoot people that try and invade my home. That's the only time.
Night Strikistan.
No, we're not going to Night Strikistan.
I liked them both. The first time I went to Moss Pond, I didn't even know Barry. I walked in the door and he was like, "How can I help you, young man?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm looking for Eric because he's going to sign the crickets." And Barry kept me company while Eric was helping the customer.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
Cool.
But he was a good guy. They're all good guys.
Whoa! He said, "How can I help you, young man?" And that must have been 20 years ago, Tony.
Oh, he was very
That's
passed
got-
away within the last 10 years.
What,
I
12 years ago, something like that.
12 years ago. Because Barry left us. Ooh, it's been a while, hasn't it? Been 4 or 5 years, hasn't it?
Has to be.
No,
Yeah.
probably more than that.
Yeah. So, oh God, New York Outcast is doubling down. Warsaw is doubling out. Warsaw, you stop that. You stop that. Stop making jokes like that. China
What's he doing?
Strikistan.
Oh my God. STRYKEISTAN. Yeah.
Yeah, no, A. STN. Oh my God. All right. Anyways, moving on. Moving on to our next topic because we still got one more to go. I'm going to read a little bit of the piece, but we don't have to go over it. But it's basically, what surmise of this conversation is the federal government provoking America's armed citizens into open confrontation?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it's saying. It's like the majority. The article goes off, starts saying the majority of Americans must continue to cherish their God-given right to keep and bear firearms, as long as they make clear their intention to hold on to their firearms, regardless of government strong-arm tactics to disarm them. The forces that seek to dismantle a free constitutional republic must exercise caution and circumspection before commencing wholesale confiscation of the citizenry's firearms. So at the moment, they must resort to a war of words to ensnare the mind, and they are good at it. The puppet, it goes on to say, the puppet masters and propagandists are avidly at work to change the public's opinion, a perception of firearms. They are attempting to instill fear and abhorrence of firearms in the psyche of the public, and are encouraging millions of Americans to turn on those Americans who intend to hold fast to their firearms. So basically, that's the whole surmise of the article. Is our government right now actively provoking armed citizens into a confrontation? What do you guys think?
I think state and federal.
Okay, Tony, what do you think?
What was the question? I'm sorry, I was looking for something.
Tony fell asleep. I get it.
No, I was looking for that video where Barry signed the cricket.
Oh, we got a Russian bot.
Yeah, we got another Russian bot. Yeah.
So what was the question? It wouldn't take that long to read.
Is the federal government provoking America's armed citizens into open confrontation?
No, I wouldn't. I think provoking is probably a strong word. I don't know.
Well,
you said armed confrontation? No, I don't think so.
Open confrontation.
Open. I mean, I see January 6th as a protest. I don't see it as
but they see it as a riot. So
that's just their perspective. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, and that's also how they talk about guns. Like they always say it's an assault rifle or full automatic or full semi-auto and stuff. They always give you these little terms to make you think that firearms are bad.
Or how about ghost gun?
And ghost gun. There you go. Ghost gun's another one right there.
There's no such thing as a ghost gun.
And it's their terminology and their way of thinking that they try to go on our rights to hold firearms.
I think our side has the temperance to always keep I'm saying for the most part. I know there's those extremists on both sides out there, right?
Right.
But the majority of our side know how to protest without being violent, and that's been proven over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go around starting fire, burning buildings down, taking over parts of cities.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We don't loot. And
protest
still be extreme
he passed.
Make a point. So.
But that the left does loot. They do things like that all the time, and whereas
Right, but
our
China's-
side doesn't. Our side doesn't. But we get branded as awful people. Anyway, so it's just like, well, what the hell?
Yeah, and it's so weird because in the past, people have owned firearms. People used to shoot them in school. Like in competitions, or go hunting after school and stuff like that.
Exactly.
There was always like all these kind of activities that people would do, and now because of people who go into these mass shootings and stuff. I know some people don't like the term active shooter because active shooter means a guy who likes to go shooting, and stuff, not to be going at a killing spree.
Right.
And excuse me. And all these things, like it's just changed, because I know in the past, like I know that people have gone into massive shootings, throughout history and stuff. But like for us, it's just been like lately throughout the 80s, 90s, and like early 2000s that it got really bad, and that everybody just started freaking out and started wanting to say, you know what, we're just going to have to get rid of this. We're going to have to ban them, or we're going to have to charge people this much money to own a gun, or have insurance, and if not, they're going to lose their firearms if they don't keep it. They come up with so many ways and stuff that they don't tackle the actual problem, which was upholding the laws that we already have, instead of coming up with these ridiculous common sense laws and stuff,
like catch and release,
catch and release and stuff. Brag flag laws, like where like, oh, the neighbor of this guy reported that he has guns, and that occasionally he likes to go shoot out a couple of rounds and then goes inside his house. Which would be false, right? But like, because the neighbor's pissed off at the other guy for cutting him off, leaving the neighborhood or something, So the guy reports it to the police, and then the cops are going to say, well, red flag laws, we can go and take the firearms before he does anything, anything else. And
okay, we have a law enforcement member out there saying no active shooter means someone actively shooting others. They play on the word. Their play on words doesn't help anyone.
Yeah.
It's all political manipulation. Like, you use people's victims as a way to have your agenda opportunity to be fulfilled, especially if they have your vote, and that's what they're doing.
M. Gabriel says the high school where he's at competes in trap shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
No, that's awesome.
Jose says because people become soft and a bunch of crybabies. Society is full of well, I don't want to say that word, but they're full of sissies. Yes, Jose, I'm gonna read it, but I'm gonna use diplomatic words because I don't want to.
I mean, the thing is, okay, you don't. And I always get in trouble for this kind of stuff, but our country was set up with a system that allows us to take care of things through voting. Our country was not set up so that every time somebody doesn't like something, they grab their guns and go shoot up government. Okay, that's not how it's supposed to work.
No, it's not.
So these people calling us wussies because we're not taking up arms, it's just ridiculous. It's not a free society. And a lot of these people who say these things don't even vote. Or they voted for Biden. They hated Trump. They hated Trump so much that they voted for Biden.
It's funny you say
that's how he got elected.
Yeah,
it's funny you say that because what was it, past 2 years now, we've had a lot of Democrats now switch over.
Well, right now, those that voted for Biden and are regretting it, basically, they're having one hell of a buyer's remorse, aren't they?
Hey, that's what they are or not.
Hey, you buy yourself a product, and this is what you get.
I would hope they are, because I mean, he's not doing what he should be doing.
Most people don't look in. Most people who would have voted for Biden aren't the same type of people who would do self-evaluations and say,
It's mostly because they hated Trump. That was the
I
reason.
screwed up.
No, that's exactly
I
what it
actually know
was.
a person who did not like Trump at all. I mean, at first, yes, he became president, and the guy that I know, he says, "Well, I'll call it. If he does something good, I'll give him credit for it. But if he does something bad, I'm not gonna like it because he did something bad. And the thing was, as soon as it became the elections again for Biden and Trump, he voted for Biden because he said, I can't stand Trump anymore. I hate him. So that's it. That's why. He goes, yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, well.
Now he
that's
has to
your
deal
deal.
with the laughing stock that is our president.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations, you screwed yourself. So, anyways, that's my opinion again. So,
Yeah, but I think there's also other stuff, like I know that a lot of people voted for Biden because he was out there like trying to give out
but
debt relief, college debt relief, and stuff.
right, and he hasn't really
I
done
was
any of that.
that was getting a lot of the younger voters, the guys
I mean,
who go to college do that,
But when you've got a president that says stuff like this,
all men and women created by go. You know the thing.
yeah,
Come on, man.
And you know what
I
cracks
totally
me up
agree.
about? You know what cracks me up?
And then there's
about-
this one.
I made an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
How do you spell that?
Super fragilistic Aphrodisiacs.
No, Tony, you had it, you had it, and then you lost it. I mean, but I lost it too. So but I mean, seriously, I didn't vote for Brandon, and look at where we're at. We're almost into a freaking war with Russia. On top of having to fight the ATF for our bump stock, not our bump stocks, but pistol braces, 80% firearms, or 80% not firearms. What else? They're going after trigger, drop-in trigger packs for AR-15s and other firearms. Where does it end? Okay, they're doing all that. I mean, what's the next point? We also find out they're also holding almost 1 billion 4473s when they should be destroying them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, C4 Defense says, does the double negative equal a positive? I don't know, Sarge. I don't know. You tell me, because honestly, we've had more negative stuff, than we can shake a stick at, but none of it's become positive, has it? At least not in my eyes. And I'm not trying to be a downer, okay, guys? I'm not trying to, put a negative narrative. I'm just saying, when does it end? Or is it not going to end, and we're going to keep having, next thing, it's like you can't have a threaded barrel on any firearm you own. You can't have, a flash hider. It has to be only a muzzle brake. Where does it end with the ATF like that?
We'll end up like Canada.
Well, exactly, Warsaw. That's why I did that interview with Canuck, because right now the path we're going down with the ATF is, it's almost getting as bad as what Canada has to deal with. It's almost. And Sarge, I did get a new microphone, yes, but I also got a microphone stand for my desk so that I can move the microphone closer and further away from me. So, it sounds like I'm actually trying to up the production level, and I'm trying to just a little bit, but whether it helps or not,
as long as it sounds like it's doing it, that's all that matters.
I just want everybody to hear me properly, for better or worse.
Can I speak on my behalf on something?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Jump in. Tell us what you think.
As far as what's been going on, I mean, I think the law enforcement is just as divided as just the people here in the United States, dude. The police as well as the sheriff's departments.
Yeah, no, it's true. It always is. It's rough on everybody right now.
People like on the side of like say like, all right, we just got the common Americans that are saying, "Oh, back to blue." I question myself this, but when has there ever been a time the blue has actually stood up and said, "No, will not support this"? Like, I need a whole majority of people that are in the police department or the sheriffs to actually support the people. I have not seen that happen that often.
I know.
I mean, I see Sarge. Obviously, Sarge would be on the side of the people, but like, where's the whole majority across the states?
Yep.
Yeah, I have deep love and respect for law enforcement, especially our sheriffs. But the majority of a lot of the police departments are so corrupt.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll fall in order if they leave it.
Well, the sheriff in my county, I've actually met him several times already here in my county, and because the city I live in is the county seat, and I've met him, while he was on the campaign field and after being on the campaign trail, and when he got elected and he's serving as sheriff. I've met him several times since and talked to him. He's a good guy. If I had to be defined as one of those, southern, southern, not a redneck, but one of those old southern guys like Tony.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He's got an awesome accent. He loves guns.
I don't have an accent.
No, but honestly, nice Frank. I mean, do you think the police and as well as the sheriffs are just divided right now?
Everybody's divided. It's not just them.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe the police and everybody and law enforcement is divided to a certain extent. What that extent is, it varies. But also the people here in our country are also divided. And I miss Barry. I miss Barry very much.
Look how young he was before.
Yeah. Well, this is
was
old. This
10
is
years
like
ago.
10 years ago, wasn't it, Tony?
Yeah, not 2012.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That pink cricket's worth a little money. I don't know, a little bit.
So.
Look how young Eric looks.
No, the guy on the left isn't Barry, is it?
No, that's
Mr. Moss, isn't it?
That's Mr. Moss, right?
No, that's the gunsmith. What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the gunsmith. Yeah.
Oh, what is his name? He's a cool guy too.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more comments out there. Says,
Is that a Celtic?
Sarge is saying that's why he works for a good sheriff, and more power to you, Sarge. Awesome, glad to hear.
Awesome, Sarge.
Yep.
More power.
He says the Sheriff's Association voted to end those purchase permits, but old Roy vetoed it. Yeah, I know, but South Carolina has open carry with permit now, and concealed carry with permit. So, and we can open carry rifles and shotguns if we want without a permit, period, because that's just how it is. But again, we don't have to get a purchase permit for pistols. So, I mean, North Carolina, you can say it's the better of the Carolinas all you want, Sarge, but is it true? We'll leave it up to those who want to come down here.
Yeah.
My favorite state.
I won't argue. I won't argue, and I won't say otherwise.
West Carolina is a beautiful state.
Yeah, well,
Texas is beautiful.
West Carolina is actually Tony's area. He lives on the other side of West Carolina.
No, the state of West Carolina is beautiful. Beautiful state.
He lives on the other side of West Carolina.
We should invade. We should invade West Carolina and take it back.
Should.
Yeah, you should totally,
It's Western Carolinians coming along and just taking everything.
North Carolina's still mad at us for
West
taking
Carolina's
little
being
parts of the
invaded.
north.
East
Yeah,
Carolina's
they're
pretty
still mad
beautiful,
about
too.
that, aren't they? But yeah, I mean, I didn't expect this to go very long with this topic, as far as the government provoking, law-abiding citizens. But again, I just wanted to broach the topic, and we've reached some other areas, and that's fine. No, I'm not arguing. I love a good discussion. So this is a good discussion. But we're getting to the hour. So maybe might be time to get everything in order and possibly pack everything in. So let's go through some of these other comments, and then we'll go through the room and we'll see everyone later. So Bernie's out there. Bernie Sanchez says, "As a minority, I don't know how to vote. Who will help me?" Go. I would say go to your local DMV first, and I think you got to register to vote at the DMV. Well, at least in some states you do. I don't know your state, Burnaby, so check your state and go check out where to go to register to vote, and then they'll send you a voter card, and then you'll be able to vote wherever your local precinct is. New York Outcast says, "I know how I voted, but don't know what the supervisor did with it after making me vote in a manner that batch filed it for review." Ooh, yeah. Again, Gabriel says Barry left us in 2014. Yes, and he is sorely missed. I miss Barry. He's a good guy.
He was a Southern gentleman.
He was. G20. New York Outcast says, "Vote with your dollar. Your odds are probably better." Yes, probably. Let's see. Sarge is laughing out there. He's saying, "We used to have the state of Franklin in what is now Tennessee." I thought the state of Franklin was was the state that California wants to split off into. No, wait, that's the state of Jefferson.
Franklin is
That's the state of Jefferson they want to make. I get those two mixed up.
just south of Nashville. It's pretty famous for the Civil War activities right there.
Yeah.
Stuff. There's a Confederate cemetery I've been to there.
They're not going to try and remove the Confederate cemetery now, are they?
They might. They might try to dig them all up.
Yeah. Jose Morgan says they need to erect the wall from the Mexican border all the way to Canada all the way to Canada to block off all those people from California from leaving the state with the liberals. Yeah,
Dude, I'm telling you, all we need. I've told you this before. We need the United States of Tornado Alley. It's North Dakota all the way down to Texas, and then like any satellite states around us that want to join in will annex you in on it. So like we'll just be one united front.
Yeah.
It's the last bastion of normal people in this world.
Pale Horse is being joking out there. He's like, "You forgot one stand. You forgot Kekistan. That's a meme. That's a meme country. That isn't a real country. That's a meme country. But okay, we forgot Kekistan. All right." G23 says at Night Strike, why is no one talking about the FBI admitting that January 6th was an FBI operation?
Actually,
for the same reason we're not going on air and talking about how the Obama administration and the FBI spied on President Trump's campaign when he ran for president.
I also like to add that Ted Cruz also even discussed this during the whole meeting.
Or the fact that that Rand Paul thinks the Ukraine joining NATO is a stupid idea. For just those reasons, to name a few. I mean, we can go on for another hour if you wanted to talk about the whole January 6th situation.
No, I'll pass.
That's a whole other bag of cats. That might be a conversation for another day. So, Bernie Sanchez says, "I'm just kidding. I've been a voice for independence all my voting life." Well, good, Bernie. But if you needed help, I would totally help you out. I don't mind. I want everybody to be able to vote. Everybody's vote matters, whether you think it does or not.
In Night Strikistan, every life matters.
Every life.
There is no Night Strikistan.
In China's Night Strike.
You shut.
China's Strike stand.
No,
everybody
stop
wants Chinese.
China's Strikistan.
Stop that.
Stop.
All right. D13 says, "Guess Rob is asking for another knock on the door." New York Outcast says they all work for the feds like you, G23. Wow. Yeah. All right. C4 Defense says, "I live near Asheville, NC. It's straight chaos over there." Thumbs down. Yeah, we know. Jose says, "Ever since Benghazi, I don't trust anyone, including the FBI. Comey should have been arrested." Yes, he should have. Yes. New York Outcast says, "You could get a shock knocking on my door." Rob, anybody that would knock on your door, I'd be afraid. Unless the neighborhood kids are throwing firecrackers at your car again. At that point, I'd cheer them on. But that's a whole other bag of cats. Jose says the Obama administration were corrupt as hell. Biden had a hand in it. Yes, it was. And Warsaw has to double down with hashtag China Strikistan. Thank you, Warsaw. Or shall we call you Polish partisan?
Thank you.
So with that, Tony, you got anything interesting? Anything you want people to know about? You got any live chats coming up you want to spread the word about?
Yes, I do. I have these lovely young ladies coming on tomorrow night.
Okay.
The Presley girls.
Are they going to talk about UFOs?
No.
Oh God.
Everybody's not talking about UFOs. Okay?
Tony doesn't always just talk about UFOs. He talks about
Now
other
on
stuff.
the
too.
next night, I have UFO Jane. She's going to talk about UFOs.
That's all he talks
I was
about is
trying. I was
UFOs.
trying to make a case for you,
Oh,
Tony. You just
Jane.
ruined it.
UFO Jane, she's pretty cool.
That's all right, man.
And then this is going to be an awesome Saturday. I have
Yeah.
Louis Elizondo, Chris Leto, Alexei Novitsky, and of course me, a round table. This is going to be awesome.
But yeah, and that reminds me. Just the other was it Saturday night? This last Saturday, and me, Tony, and Alexi had an awesome chat.
Yeah, that was a good one. I brought together, these guys probably didn't even watch it. I brought together the gun community with the UFO woo community, the woo.
Yeah. So
trying to open up a dialogue.
Well, I'm always open to conversation. You know that, Tony.
Yeah.
So I shared my experience.
And you know how to do it without getting mad. A lot of people can't talk about things.
I know. I understand that, but
we're
again,
we're
I
live,
shared
we're
one of
lively
my
bunch. We like to
I
keep
shared
it
one of my
lively.
experiences. So if anybody wants to go and see Night Strike Talking Crazy Talk, go over there and talk and listen to that, because that's what I experienced, and it happened. There's video proof of it, actually, not of me, but of the actual situation. But anyways, it was a good discussion. So
No, I met the Presley girls through their mom. She does this. She's keeping Appalachian culture alive,
Mhm.
and so she's got a cool channel. And then she was talking about her daughters. They're into music and stuff, and so my family's into music, so we hit it off. And I thought I could help them get some more viewers. I don't know. I don't think I can, but I was going to try.
All right. Well, let us know. All right.
That's what I mean. No, you're not going to watch it.
I will try.
Let me know how it turns out.
I will
Watch
try.
it.
I will try to watch it, but remember, I might get the after. I might not be able to watch it live. I'll go back and watch it after.
What are you going to talk about? Little figurines on somebody's shelf?
Yeah, either that or I might talk about video games on Thursday. I don't know.
They're called collectible figurines.
They're
whatnots. My
They're
grandmother
not action
whatnots.
figures. They're not toys. They're collectible figurines.
They're
Yes.
collectible figurines.
They're like Hummels, like the Hummels your grandmother had, but they had posable arms with weapons. Okay.
Oh wow!
Oh God, you're making me laugh.
Look what C4 Defense just posted, saying, "Didn't Guns N' Roses sing that song? Knock knock knocking on Rob D's door."
It was knock knock Night Strike in a Night Strike store.
No. It's like C4 Defense says it's all fun and games until Appalachians get involved.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. Celebrating Appalachia. Thank you.
All right.
How do you
All
pronounce that name? Kajo? Kajo?
right. I call him a Kojo, just like the DJ Play Nice does. He don't mind. So, Travis.
Yeah, man.
What's coming up for Caliber Corner this weekend?
Oh man, we got a doozy. We're going to be talking about 357 SIG.
I will try and make that one, even though you've made it earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say no, you won't. No, we have to go at 7 a.m. Central Time because I've got work to do. I've got one of those curriculum design weekends coming up, and I'm going to be busy. But we're going to do a 1 hour episode, so it's going to be early, 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time. We're talking 357 SIG, the caliber that most of us have got out. So, yep.
I still carry 357 SIG.
I know, but it just doesn't ever seem to come up in any videos anymore. If it does, it's all anti 357 SIG. So I want to make 357 SIG great again in 2022.
I always associate it with revolvers.
I do. I want to make 357 SIG, great again.
We'll make it great again. Yep.
All right. George.
357 Magnum. I mean, is what I associate with revolvers.
Yes.
George, do you have anything you want to tell anybody about, or anything going on with you?
Nothing right now so far, but I say thanks for the invite, and great show. Everyone was awesome, chat wise, and people on the panel.
Yeah,
and our host, and can't wait for the next one.
All right. Warsaw, do you have anything going on you'd like to tell people about?
I got nothing else going on right now at the moment.
All right. So with that, check out Tony's channel, Artisan Tony. Check out the chat with the Presley girls and the other chat with Lou Elizondo, Alexi, and what was that other guy's name, Tony?
Chris Laco, he's a retired F-16 pilot.
Yeah, Chris. Okay.
Ooh, cool.
All right. So
Yeah,
check that
He's
chat out. That
excellent.
should be an interesting chat. But again, check out Caliber Corner. And with that, we'll see you guys later. Thank you all for participating, hanging out with us, and contributing to the conversation. I thought we had a really good conversation from the YouTube side and from the panelists. So I'm glad we had this discussion tonight. So with that, thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss. So how do I turn this damn thing off?
Felicia.
The green button.
Felicia said. That's what Felicia said.
I thought we said it was the purple button.
Purple button. Felicia Navidad.
Felicia Navidad. I love that one. Felicia Navidad.
Felicia got my paw.
No, Felicia also.
Please, I'm a dog.
Wait, Felicia.
Please, I'm a dog.
Felicia shot your dog.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she was part of the AFT.
ATF, yeah.
The AFT.
I'm gonna start hacking this so I can turn it off myself.
At least I'm a dog.
So with that, shall not be infringed.
No fridges.